Good morning, Napa Valley. So good to see you and see your faces today on this wonderfully, actually rainy day. I don't think anybody ever complains about rain anymore. So it's beautiful to be here, and I'm so glad all of you are here, as well as all you who have joined us online. We have a beautiful service planned today. So let's begin, as always, with a little music. Let's welcome Astra Fox.
Thank you. We're going to sing this song twice through, so here we go. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. You want to try that? Here we go. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. My turn. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Your turn. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Let's sing that together. Thank you. I sing thank you. Your turn. I sing thank you. Blessed be. Let's do it all together now. 2, 3, 4. Am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Let me hear you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. Beautiful.
Thank you, Astro. A beautiful way to start this morning. So I want to let you know a few things going on here at the center, but first we always like to start with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen and join in with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving initially, and all people and all faiths. Sorry, sometimes there's too many buttons up here we're pushing, right? So glad to have everybody here today. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of things going on with the service today. Today, right after our service at 12:30, we have Reverend Sayota, who's back here. If you have any questions about the workshop, but she's leading a Ho'oponopono workshop. She talked about it last week. It's just such a great way to align and connect deeper with your soul self, as well as ancestral trauma that might be there. It's a beautiful Hawaiian process that's been translated for our use, and it's just beautiful. And what we did for snacks today, we provided extra nutritious snacks, a little extra snack, so that you can eat something that's more lunchy and have that, and then come back in here at 12:30, or even bring your lunch with you if you want to do that, so we can get started. So I invite everybody to do that. It's $25 or gratitude donation. We appreciate everything that you give towards this, and this is the first workshop that Reverend Sayota has done with us, and I hope it's a series of future workshops. Then a couple changes that you need to know about. We're having this is the Card of Intention season that we're doing, inviting you to be a part of the law of circulation and the way you give intentionally. And I'll have an update of it during my talk. But I think it's just an opportunity for us to step more into our individual abundance as well as the center's abundance, to support the vision and mission, and also just to have a spiritual practice of giving in an intentional way. So we invite you to fill that out by next week. We prefer it, but we'll take them anytime in this year, in the calendar year 2022. But we're wanting to get those so that we can plan our budget for next year. So here's the change I was talking about. So the appreciation dinner has been scheduled for November 11th. And we were planning a comedy skit routine. And I had the opportunity to bring in some guest artists, Jamie Lula and Gary Lynn Floyd together. And they're an amazing, they're amazing separately. And they're even more dynamic together. And so as somebody, so I kind of asked practitioners and the board of trustees, if it's okay if we did this instead of the comedy skit. And several people went, because they were going to, another person goes, well, let me see. I get the chance either to see you make a fool out of yourself or to hear these really amazing musicians. Now, I didn't know that was the choice, but they decided on the musician. So I think you'll really enjoy that. And everybody's invited. It's meant to be a volunteer appreciation, but anybody can come. We just need your RScP because we need to know how many people we're going to serve that night, because we'll be catering it for you and providing the music for you in appreciation of your volunteerism and keeping the center going, because we recognize that volunteers keep things going. And the other, I thought there was another thing that I don't remember what it was. I thought there was, think through it. Yeah, I'm going to. So also on October 29th, Bodhi is doing his Soundscape Oasis, which is a sacred sound journey for healing and rejuvenation. That you can register for that ahead of time, $40, or at the door $45, so you save money ahead of time to do that. And then on November 4th, we're having another body-based mindfulness workshop with Marla Toffel, and she is here to talk about it. So let's welcome Marla.
Thank you, Reverend Jay. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see so many of you here and online. I actually don't know where I'm looking. Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. You're all so friendly. I'm Marla Toffel, and I'm going to be teaching this workshop again because I was here in July, and several of you after the workshop said, hey, come back. It was great. And so thank you, Reverend Jay, for inviting me again. Thank you, Mary, for all of your work to do the behind the scenes to get me here today, and then on November 4th as well. So what we will be doing is what I do, which is help people connect to the space that I call the ground of being that lives inside all of us. And we connect to this ground of being so we have more ease inside of us. And this is really important for a lot of reasons. All of the benefits listed on the slide there, but also one of the things that I've been working on lately with my teachers is it connects us to, it basically recalibrates our neuronal system. So we're in a state of flow. And when we're in a state of flow, our organs function optimally. And when our organs function optimally and we're in a state of flow, we respond from a place of ease. And being responsive from a place of ease rather than the forcing or the vroom, vroom, vroom that we always do rebalances us. And we're also responding from ease, so we respond from a place of kindness and from a place of effectiveness. Kind, effective, and clear action. And I think we're entering a season where we all want to be responding, not reacting, for ourselves, but also for the world and for our loved ones. So I hope you'll join me again. If you were here in July, it would be lovely to see you again and play together and learn together. And if you weren't, first-timers are always welcome to my work, and also experienced body-based practitioners, meditators, always welcome. So thank you again, and thanks for welcoming me today. It's lovely to be in your space and your community.
Thank you, Marla. we just had a series of workshops that kind of Marla kicked off. Then we had one with Don and Dana, and then we're having this Ho'oponopono workshop and the sound heal. It's just great to have all these different workshop choices. And I know you can't attend them all, but it's great the ones you can, and bring friends. It's a great way for them to be introduced to the kind of spiritual teachings we have. We have so much going on that doesn't happen on Sundays. It's beyond Sundays. That is our center in that way. And we also connect with community events that are happening. So although officially the Latinx celebration cultural was finished last week, but here in Napa, we continue to celebrate it with a Dia de los Muertos celebration on November 4th. So the same day that your workshop is, later in the afternoon, there's a wonderful a Brown Street up in the Veterans Park. There will be altars set up and music and dancing, all part of the cultural celebration. So you can go anytime between that 3 and 8 period. I think that'll be fun. And then my tablet crashed, and I didn't know. I knew there was another announcement, and there was another change that I think you'll really be excited to hear. So next weekend, Reverend Janet Garvey Stanvik's going to be in town to marry Laura Keller, and I've invited her to speak here on Sunday. So not only do she's going to be here in Napa and being present, it's always good to have her here, but she'll be here on Sunday and speaking. So if you don't know her, I know some of you are new and may not be familiar with her. She was a minister before I came here 9 years ago, and she has a delightful sense of humor, kind of a quirkiness, and really gets the message of how to walk spiritually in life in that way. So she said, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too, and we'll put that on publicity as well. And so I think that's enough announcements for a while, right? So let's begin the sacred part of our service.
I invite you to sing along or just listen. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am love. I am love, you are love, we are love, blessed love. I am love, you are love, we are love, blessed love. Love, you are love, we are love, blessed love. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be.
Good morning and welcome to this beautiful rainy day. Sunny California is getting revitalized by the blessed rain that's coming through right now. And so are we. And so just take that in for a moment, close your eyes and recognize the blessing that God is bestowing upon us and our land right now and all of our plants. And take in that rejuvenation of life that comes to us through the blessed water. I give thanks for this time to be here with you now. I give thanks knowing that every word that is spoken or sung, every heart that is open is blessed, and that we are one, and so it is. So in this time where we are recognizing that we have this energy within us that reacts and responds to life around us, our mental capacity responds to what's happening, and our physical body responds to what's happening. And so we know that how we can live joyously is by recognizing that we all have that inner sanctum within us. Each and every one of us in this room and outside of this room, all over the planet, we are all blessed by knowing that God is with us, that we carry that seed of all knowing within us, even though we don't feel it sometimes. Sometimes we have to close our eyes and just get with the knowing that God is present in our lives so that we can choose the healthy way to respond. And we don't have that crazy reaction that brings anger and angst into our life. We only respond with love in our hearts. And as we respond with love in our hearts, it balloons outward to everything and everyone around us. And so it magnifies the presence of God. And we all feel that energy, knowing that whatever we speak and say, that we are one with God and everyone is one with God. So I invite you to carry that away with you today, that deep knowing that you are always, always in the presence of God wherever you are. And as such, you can always respond from the love deep in your heart. And so I give great thanks for this knowledge that empowers us all to be the spirit of life that we all are. And I give thanks for that. And so it is.
I am connected to this divine source of love that guides me through this world. I make an impact with each being I meet. Today is exactly what I need for my highest good. For my highest good, I am worthy. For my highest good, for my highest good, I am worthy. I am accepted by this divine source of love that rises through this world. I make an impact with each heartbeat. I am exactly who I need for my highest good. For my highest good, I am worthy. Won't you sing that with me? For my highest good, I am worthy. For my highest good. One more time. For my highest good I am worthy. That sounded good. One more time, let's really feel it. For my highest good, for my highest good I am worthy. I am connected to this divine source of love that guides me through this world.
Thank you so much. So beautiful. So beautiful. I was just, first of all, want to welcome everybody here once again. If it happens to be your first time, a special welcome, but also welcome those who haven't been here in a while. Sean, it's so great having you back from Uganda. It's so great. And people from distances elsewhere. So good to have you here. I was just thinking about the trees. We're on this theme about abundance in the tree of life this month. And just think about the trees today on this rainy day. Can you imagine being a tree? It's been dry lately and suddenly stuff's falling. And usually you have to work so hard to get it pumped up through your roots and get all the water out to the leaves. And now you can just spread out and it just comes in. And to me, this is the abundance. When we're willing to open up our hearts and our souls to abundance, it just comes raining down. Now, at times I recognize in my own life, and I'm sure in your life, it feels like a drought. It feels like things aren't flowing emotionally, physically, spiritually, or monetarily. And this is the time that we go deeper and just allow, go deeper in, what a tree does when it is struggling, it goes deeper into its roots, or even feeds from other trees' roots that gives to it in times of struggle. So it is with us when we're struggling, we go deeper and we also find our network connections through our fibers in the soil. We just spread out a little bit so we can feel supported. And we also look at our beliefs about, I love your song, Astra, about worthiness. I am worthy to receive my highest good, and find out if there's some sort of belief we have that we're not feeling worthy of some sort. And I mentioned earlier this month is also about the tree of abundance. First of all, when I start doing research about or reading about the tree of life, I didn't realize how ancient this has been. I mean, not only you consider the tree of life in Judaism, but in Christianity and Islam and all religions, but even more ancient than that. I mean, all cultures, they would, when they would do a clear cutting to create houses or farming, they would always leave one or two trees in a field because they wanted to represent that sacredness in all ways, and it was their sacred trees. And the Hawaiians with their banyan tree, and so many cultures have certain trees that are sacred, and it is a divine relationship they represented in the tree. So it's quite beautiful. And we also consider it a source of abundance here. We have a central painting here, as well as in different places. We have it, and we recognize this as the creative process. We also consider it part of our abundance. So we have been using these cards of intent. I said I wanted to give you an update on that. And so in the way we do in this financial support you give us, it allows us to continue to plan how to do good, love big, and live now. So the Board of Trustees has an intention of $125,000. And last week I gave you the update that we are $19,000. So slowly we're building this tree up. This week we're up to $37,140. So that's great. Now, you can see there's more tree to be added here, and I know it will be. And I know that as those cards of intention comes up, we'll continue to give you an update, and we sure appreciate it. What I love about this idea of the abundance in the tree of life, though, is it comes back to our beliefs and what, because it's so ancient, it's these ancient wisdom that we can find about the trees and the source of the abundance of the tree, of the vitality of a tree that continues to grow is in its minerals and fungus and water that comes up through it. And we consider this for ourselves as being the roots, being the divine source as that way. What I like to think about that is that I always caution us about how we view God, because I want us to step away. I'm inviting you to step away from the idea that God is out there or something that we need to fear or be concerned about, or that we have to do certain things to gain favor in order to be worthy, in order to have a divine connection. Because in fact, this is available to all of us, the nutrients that come up from below, and it's not something out there, but within us. That I like to think of it instead of a creator, because that gives you images possibly of an old man with a beard in the sky, but the creativity that flows through us. So rather than a creator, creativity that comes up through us. And it's this creativity of abundance, this energy of flow that creates in us and moves through us and creates all that is, this manifestation. Now, in this metaphor, I don't want to minimize or limit the awe of God, of spirit, of the divine creation. I think sometimes when I say the God within, we think of this little part of us. But in fact, it's this amazing allness of all life, a oneness that is connected with all life. I like to read some of the works of progressive people from all religions, imams, rabbis, priests, ministers, because they're what I call crossover in their work. Now, the word crossover for me is like if you think of music, you think of people that do crossover country and rock or classical and jazz. So they cross over two genres. So these crossover writers are people that cross over different religions across all religions. And so they're looking for ways, bridges, and connections. And I love these kind of authors because they give me a reframe, particularly of Christianity, because that was the faith I was raised in. And I still have some judgments about Christianity and the limitations and the narrow teachings they have when I see spirit is so much bigger. But these crossover writers, like my favorite one, Richard Rohr in particular, really offers a reframe for me, a view of it. And I like what he talks about, the way he talks about spirit. He says, spirit is like a circle dance, moving in love and inviting us to participate. Let me say that one more time. Spirit is like a circle dance. So spirit is the circle dance, moving in love and inviting us to participate. Don't you love that metaphor? Inviting us into the flow, into the circle, and to dance and the beauty of it, the rhythm of it. He also, I love his description of the Trinity. Now, if you didn't grow up in Christianity, traditional definition of the Trinity is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? Or Holy Spirit. And first of all, what we know from Jesus, if we go back to the Aramaic interpretation, he didn't talk about the Father in R1. He said Ab One, which is a masculine, feminine creator God, not masculine in nature. But the way Richard Rohr talks about it, he said, you know, when you this concept of Ab One or Father is the allness of spirit that is all around us. That is the very nature of the universe, the very grandeur of all things. You know, if you look in the sky, whether at night or in the day, you look at the trees, the beauty of nature, the beauty of people, you can see this grandeur of God. And then you have this indwelling spirit that is within each of us. And this is what he says is what people often think of the Son, as the Christ within. But it is also just the spirit within, all and not by somebody, a particular person's name, but by all faiths is divine within. And then the Holy Spirit is Spirit moving in and through us, allowing Spirit to come through us. So we have this allness of Spirit, this indwelling Spirit, and allowing Spirit to come through us like the tree, where it flows through us and manifests that which we are believing and doing and creating. So you can see why I love this trees, and they also fit right into this idea of living in gratitude that we're talking about, living a life of gratitude. Now, this is also an expansive topic, and I'm going to spend all of November talking about gratitude, so there's a lot of aspects of it. But today in particular, I just want to talk about gratitude in terms of manifesting, creating, and in particular with our 5 steps of affirmative prayer, as we call it. In the past weeks, we've been talking about recognition and unification, which is recognizing there's only God, unifying, which means that you're unifying, you're recognizing the oneness of all life, realizing, revealing the truth that is coming through you, that you know because you're connected with God, it is true for you, that you are healthy, you are wise, you are guided, you are open, you're creative, you're powerful because Spirit in you is this. And then today we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving and release. And this is Thanksgiving as a gratitude for not only what is, for our connection with Spirit, but for what is not yet. Because we know that Spirit within us is this magnificence is flowing in and through us, and we also know what unfolds is divine and perfect. So we're grateful for this in this way. We're grateful for this truth of what is unfolding. And then we release into the universe, knowing that all is well. We release what's called into the law, and I'll explain more about that later, into the unfolding that's good. And we know these simple steps, you don't even have to remember the steps in a lot of ways, but know you're just connecting with Spirit. You're knowing your truth, and you're grateful for that. And you're letting it go, letting go and letting God. Because if we try and control things, it doesn't always work out for the highest and best, that we let Spirit do that. So we think of it even in the tree that I've been talking about. So we have the recognition and unification, which is the roots and the trunk that moves up through there, and the realization that moves up through this, creating this manifestation, and we release it into the law, knowing it is already so, and we are grateful in this moment. Ernest Holmes says we experience heaven within and around us to the degree that we are conscious of it, the degree that we are allowing it to be the truth of who we are, allowing it to be the deeper connection of life, to the degree that we are mindful of it and aware. This also can be, the steps can be reduced to a simple acronym, RURTR. And that has certain words that go with it other than the recognition, unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. But it also can stand for, are you ready to receive? And this is about your openness to life itself, letting go of things that no longer serve you. And this is the most important thing about gratitude is it is an opening in and of itself. Last year, for the past 2 years previously, I was working with a group of people who were wanting to be practitioners. So there was 10 of them that were there. And when we were talking about the steps of treatment, you have to, by the way, when you're going to become a practitioner, you have to know exactly what the steps are. You have to be able to identify them. And so I say, well, it doesn't really matter. Well, it matters when you're a practitioner, okay? And so they would ask me, when I'm doing prayer, I am grateful as I start prayer. Why is it the 4th step? Isn't it the best place to do gratitude before you start? And I would say, yes. And somebody else would say, well, I like gratitude in the middle when I'm revealing my truth. Is that the best place for gratitude? And I would go, yes. And then somebody would go, but it's supposed to be at the end, grateful for what is coming and unfolding and grateful for Spirit. Is that the best place in it for prayer? And I go, yes. The truth is, it belongs in all aspects of prayer. It goes from before, as we begin, as we let go and release, as we allow Spirit to be the truth of who we are, and just grateful for this recognition of who we are, grateful for what is unfolding, what is being realized, what is the truth, and as we manifest, it is a gratitude and a release. And this is just so grateful for this to be the truth of who we are, and it is in the beginning, the middle, and the end. For gratitude helps us accept what is and what is unfolding. I ran across a blog this week by Anne von Aaron. I don't know her. I don't know her work, but I'm trying to find the right slide here. And I love this slide because it really, I added some affirmations around it, but I love what it's saying. So really, this shows you how gratitude opens up in so many ways. So up at the top and moving clockwise is I'm grateful and open to inspiration. I am connected and supported. And you can be, I am grateful for being connected and supported in that. I'm grateful for what is, and I'm open and grateful to what is unfolding. So this is a cycle that you move around, and there's no starting point. It's just like the time on a clock doesn't have a certain time. You start what time it is now, where you are right now, and you move around the circle. And this particular diagram, it's on Facebook. It was sent out on email, and if you don't get emails from us, call Mary and get the weekly email from us because it was on there. But I love it, just wherever you are, if you're considering what is and opening up, then you're grateful for what is, that inspiration, open to being supported, open to what is, open to what is unfolding, and grateful in that way. Last week I was talking about this, the idea of moving from surviving to thriving. And so no matter where we are, this gratitude moves us up into thriving. Grateful for what is, even if it is painful and hard at the time, we can be grateful. And it moves us up in consciousness into a higher realm, into a higher way of being. You've probably seen this way of praying. So this is a little different than our 5 steps we're talking about. But I have heard people talk about after I teach this in a class, it sticks with them. And I've talked about it on Sundays. It sticks with them because it moves your body. And Marla, you would say anything we do with our body, we're going to remember it. We're going to have it connected in our cells, and it's going to integrate more. I know I do a lot of my prayers when I'm walking. Just because it's a movement. It's, it feels like there's a movement and energy when I'm doing that. So this one is about the prayer pose is the recognition and unification at the beginning. And then you let go of the past, anything that no longer serves you. You let go of any anxiety in the future that might stand in your way. And you open up to revealing what Spirit is guiding you. Does this look like anything? Does it look like a tree? Yeah, doesn't it? Looks like a tree as we just open up. And we accept, we're grateful for what is, and we come back down to a pose of gratitude and then letting it go, right? Just letting it go. So that's a simple thing you can do. Now, if you're out walking in the neighborhood and people see you doing this, and they might think you're weird, but people already think I'm weird, so I'm not worried about it. So we just open up in this way and know and allow it to reveal us and become the tree. Be connected, recognize, and unifying, and allow things from the past or the future not to affect us. And let it reveal in us the truth and be grateful for it. So as we move forward in this idea, I love what Maya Angelou says here. She says that do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Right? It's that simple. Often we give other people credit for the idea that, well, they did the best they could with what they knew. But we don't always give ourselves that credit, right? So do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better. Simple. And I think we can give ourselves a lot more leniency about how we're doing, how we're functioning, because there's times in our lives when it's harder. There's no doubt about it. We're in grief, we're in sadness, we're struggling with a friendship, with a relationship, and that's okay. That's just where we're doing the best we can at that time. And we keep we keep opening up in a deeper way. So let's start with this idea about Thanksgiving for the creative process that's in and release into the law and what's called the creative medium. Now, when I talk about the creative medium, that's probably the most difficult thing to explain in Science of Mind and Centers for Spiritual Living. It is the process that we talk about, the V shape we talk about, where you get divine inspiration and bring it into form, but it comes through this creative medium, which includes cultural beliefs, our own beliefs, but it also includes spiritual laws, and these spiritual laws are neutral. They react and respond to everybody in the same way. There's no preferences at all. And they're laws like the law of circulation, the law of attraction, the law of allowing, the law of acceptance. Simple laws like this, the law of unity. And our metaphor for the seed, the soil, and the plant work, because the soil is like a creative medium. It's neutral. Now we can make our soil healthier. We can pull out weeds that no longer serve us. So it's a great metaphor in doing that, to opening up what is true for us in this way. I love the story of stone soup. I'm sure you're familiar with the man that came into town with a pot and a stone and claimed he was going to make soup out of a stone. And everybody didn't believe him and thought he was crazy. But he said he got the fire going, got the pot going, got water in it, put the stone in it. And then he said, you know what would be great is if I had some spices for this soup. And somebody brought some spices. And somebody, you know, it would be great if I had some carrots. And wouldn't it be great if I had some potatoes? And wouldn't it be great if I had this or that? And pretty soon it was a soup. But the thing about it was that he first engaged in everybody in a community. So he wasn't working by himself, doing things by himself. And he invited people. You know, if you only had somebody that brought potatoes, that would make a soup. Some soups are just potatoes, right? Some soup are just peas. So there's an onion soup, right? So whatever, we're just inviting. We are this person who is just opening up our heart, our soul, and receiving that which is coming forth. And we're inviting people, we're inviting spirit, we're inviting all things, and we're making the soup it is. And we're grateful for the soup that is. We're grateful for what is being made. And in that way, we have put our divine seeds, our divine ideas into this creative medium, this life, that which we are seeking to create. In the Bible, in the New Testament, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Now, some people interpret that to be a message about Jesus, but really, if you go back to the original word, the original meaning of the word was wisdom. So in the beginning was wisdom, which Jesus carried with him, no doubt, but he brought the wisdom from the ancient Jewish cultures with him, and these ancient teachings that we also study both through Jesus and through other masters over the years. And so in the beginning was wisdom, and this is the wisdom that we can sit with and bring through in our prayers and our times of contemplation. That we allow Spirit to come through us. And sometimes when we are creating, we'll notice, just like in a gardening thing, we'll notice when there are weeds there or things that don't belong. And we might need to let go of our limiting BS. And what I mean by BS, I mean belief systems. I'm sure that's what you thought I meant. So we let go of our belief systems that don't serve us anymore, because it's not until we start planting the seeds and seeing what's growing till we recognize what are weeds. I also appreciate the new kind of farming, or it's really the old kind of farming that's brought back forward at regenerative farming, where they don't get rid of everything, the soil, they don't cleanse the soil of all the good microorganisms as well. That they keep some of the old crops, they rotate crops, they allow the nutrients to stay in there, and they plant within the nutrients. And that's us too. There are many things in our lives that we learn that are good, and we keep those and bring those forward and let go of the things that no longer serve us. And we let go of that, and we allow this to be the truth. The story I told last week about Jacob, about Esau and Jacob, who were brothers, and Jacob cheated his brother, so to speak. He got the blessing from his father for the inheritance, but Esau wouldn't let him claim it because he didn't deserve it. So when Jacob left for 20 years, he came back. As he was coming back, he received this blessing of what's now called Jacob's ladder, which was the realization that there is a movement from the heavens up and down. There is no one way. It's not just God coming down and creating miracles. It's we are opening, and Spirit is creating through us, and we are giving back there. So this is the law of circulation. We're giving and receiving. And when we're thinking about abundance, whether you are in a place of, maybe you're in a place of abundance and you're able to give, but there's also times when we need to be receivers, where we are in a drought conditions emotionally, and we can receive more. And that gets this law of circulation going. It doesn't matter which one you start with, whether you need to receive more at this time or you're able to give more at the time. It's of this. And we do this through our friendships. We do this through our relationships, our career paths, the purpose we have, even if we're past retirement. We do it in these deeper connections as well as our financial abundance, that we're able to give to things where we can feed a vision and a mission and allow a greater truth that comes through us in this circulation, in this gratitude for what is and what you're receiving. To give somebody back when they've given you a gift of listening to you, or friendship, or of just being present, to give back to them and give them a mirror back. This is what I see, and I so appreciate what you've done and what you've given, and what you're giving in this case is a gift in itself. And that's a circulation, acknowledging somebody, being present, and also to receive, which is sometimes harder, a compliment, an acknowledgement of who we are, and allow that to be this deeper connection. And that's a circulation too. And as we continue to attempt to manifest that which create, of course, if you've had kids or you've been around kids, they're always asking, are we there yet? But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I do that quite a bit when I am seeking a new experience in my life and wondering why it hasn't happened yet. And asking Spirit, what's going on? I don't see the growth. I don't see the little plants coming up through the soil. And yet it's in a trusting process. We know the divine process works. So we need to allow it to unfold in that way. We need to trust that it is. The sacred text called the Talmud, which is a Jewish sacred text, which is a commentary on the Torah. Many people, more common is the Kabbalah, but that's more of a mystical. This is more of a practical. And I love this poem that comes out of it that says, where do you? I have to say it. I thought I had a slide of it. I'll just have to read it out loud. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Show mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. Let me read that one more time. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Anybody been there the last couple of weeks? Do justly now. Show mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. So, in other words, the work you're doing in the world, you may not see the result of it. You may be kind and compassionate and listening and loving and trying to shift and change things in your life, and you may not see it change the way you think it's going to change. It's easy to give up on it. That didn't work. Prayer doesn't work. God's not listening. Nobody cares. It's easy to give up on it. And what this is saying is so beautiful. It says, you're not obligated to complete the work. You're not obligated to make sure it's perfect or that everything is just right. But you're not supposed to abandon the work either. Keep loving. Keep doing justly and showing mercy and walking humbly. Keep doing that work even if you don't see all of it happening in that way. And this allows this greater truth. And we get the opportunity to be a part of a Ho'oponopono workshop today. And the person who, first of all, it's an ancient Hawaiian practice. And the person, Morna Nala Makosomana, Simona, I think is the way you say her name. She'll probably say it differently. But anyway, she was, she translated or adapted so it could be used by any culture. And she taught then tens of thousands of people in her lifetime. In 1989, she visited Poland and invited a group of people in Warsaw to learn about this practice. And she became aware of certain cultural trauma that was there, that was for centuries, but especially around World War II, guilt and shame around their involvement of it, and really in all of Europe. So they did this work for several days of this Ho'oponopono work, and addressed this ancestral and cultural trauma that was there. And when Morna claimed, when she felt that work was complete, she said that Poland's subconscious was now cleared of the heaviest burdens, and that both Poland and Europe would be able to experience greater freedom. She just felt this in her heart in this work. 4 weeks later, the Berlin Wall fell. Many believe that it wasn't random at all, but the effect of this Ho'oponopono practice. What's amazing, I don't know if you remember that time, for those who were aware of it at the time, but the guard posts on the wall were abandoned simultaneously without any commanding officer or order to do so. They just seemed to all be abandoned at the same time. And so this work we do does make a difference. So we also finally want to, when necessary, to replant the seeds. I started a winter garden, lettuce, and I did 3 rows of lettuce, different kinds of lettuce from seeds I had stored, and 2 of them are coming up, and there's not even one plant coming up on, not one plant, which means the seeds weren't good. But the other ones are doing fine, but I'm going to have to replant as necessary. So sometimes we know in our lives that which we're doing, we need to replant and reallow, and it's this gratitude that opens us up. I often told you the story about my pickup had a flat tire, and I got the jack out, and the jack didn't work. It was in a rural area, and randomly, the only car that drove by was somebody who had the kind of jack and who helped me change the tire. Now, I don't press my luck. I don't count on that person being there. I bought a new jack the next week, right? So sometimes we have to retool and reassess ourselves and know this. And gratitude is what allows us to see the difference between us being stubborn and sticking with something and knowing that it's time to shift things, whether it's about retirement or about our relationships or about friendships, and time to revision in this way. So what I'd like to do is invite Astra up to do the gratitude song. She usually does during our sharing of abundance, but just to open us up in gratitude in this way.
I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh, sing that with me. I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. am so thankful. I am joyful, so joyful. Ooh, I am joyful, so joyful. Ooh, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am so joyful.
Into prayer in this moment, our gratitude for what is in our lives right now and what is unfolding in perfect ways. We know that we are all spirit, and spirit is all there is. And so in that, we know that which is coming through us is perfect in that way. That we affirm that. We're open to it. We are like the soup maker who's opening to what it is receiving, what we are receiving. And we are also like the tree that is grateful for the rain that falls today. For we know spirit through us is this amazing manifestation of truth. And for this, we're so grateful for. And so it is. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and begin the sharing of abundance, and then you could do your final song during that. So if the ushers could come forward, please. This is a time we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. As we say, whatever level of receiving and giving, we appreciate your giving to us. There are many ways to give online and through texting or here in person. And what I invite you to do is take your hand over your heart, whether it's giving that you did in the past or today. We're grateful for it, and we simply say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
I can hear it, I can taste it, I can feel it, but not yet see it. And I know that it's coming, it's already here. My work is to tune myself crystal clear and receive all that is lined up for me. I receive, and I know that the universe loves me, that there's nothing I need to prove. It's safe to be me, it's my birthright to feel this happy and free. Oh, I receive. I am choosing my vibration. I am a master creator, and I know that it's coming, it's already here. My work is to tune myself crystal clear and receive all that is lined up for me. I receive. And I know that the universe loves me. There is nothing I need to prove. It's safe to be me. It's my birthright to feel this happy and free. 'Cause what I feel I create. I am choosing wisely where my point of attraction is. Launching rockets of desire, I'm calling it in. My dreams are manifesting, and I receive all that is lined up for me. I receive, and I know that the universe loves me. There is nothing I need to prove. It's safe to be me. It's my birthright to feel this happy and free. Oh, I receive. Ooh, I receive.
It is our birthright to receive. What a beautiful. Is that your song?
No, I'm artist
Fia
Pia from Sweden.
from Sweden. All right, beautiful song. Yeah. Um, I want to recognize anybody who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift for you with little cards. So we have, we have a couple new people. Thank you. And we have a blessing for you today and for all people. So if you'll look on the screen and read with me, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. I'd like to invite the practitioners to stand up front here. And we know that you are welcome to stay here in the sanctuary with a practitioner for a brief affirmative prayer or to go outside. I know it's a little rainy today, but we have some tents set up. And once again, if you're staying for the workshop, we have supplemented or extra snacks for like lunch that you can have before you come to the workshop. I think you'll enjoy it. You don't have to have signed up beforehand. There's plenty of room in it, so I hope you're able to stay for that. And now let's welcome our children. Can you hand me the microphone? The microphone? Oh, we got all sorts of people here. Look at all this.
So does anyone want to talk about what we did today? Is that working? Yeah. Okay.
We believe in ourselves.
Yay!
Being kind is helpful.
Say something.
Daddy.
Yeah. Come on, you guys. Here. What's it?
You got this.
Okay.
Okay. You dropped the paper. Okay. Confidence is feeling sure of yourself and your abilities. Okay. Confidence is believing in yourself and thinking you can do stuff.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, let's raise our hands and we have an affirmation for our youth. Oh. Take it away from me.
Thank Kelly and her son Max for helping.
Use the mic. Mary, you got to use the mic.
I'm trying. I wanted to thank Kelly and her son Max today for helping us. It was obviously it came in handy today, huh? So thank you.
All right, let's raise our hands with the affirmation that's on the screen. We love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. All right, let's stand for our congregational affirmation, our last song. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I'm led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our closing song.
Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, may good flow to you, let joy renew you, till meet again. Love be with you. 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 Love be with you.
Have a blessed Sunday.